Wait. Every team that's faced them until now has had someone injured, and no one's noticed this until now? Come on. No way. No way. Yo, you guys, this is Blacklist of the Abyss, and you have just watched my new intro. But right now, you're watching my review for Kuroko no Basket 2, Episode 9. Now, this one starts off with a little bit of comedy. You know, Toho shows up, Kaijo shows up to see Saren versus Kurosaki Daichi, and Toho has forced Aomine to come by stuffing him in his bag and kidnapping him pretty much. Which I'm pretty sure they could be arrested for that, but whatever. We see this little. Well, the thing about this episode is that it kind of goes back and forth between seriousness and comedy. Kuroko does that all the time, but it definitely did it in this episode. It went from comedy to showing Hanamiya talking with Teppei, then Hyuga showing up, Kagami and Kuroko showing up. So Hanamiya gets a little. He gets to know them a little bit before the game starts, and vice versa. Kagami and Kuroko get to know Hanami a little bit. But once the match starts, it's pretty much just the Kurosaki Daichi show and how it's just they're trying to show how many ways they can cheat without being caught, pretty much. At the beginning of the game, Kuroko uses the Vanishing Drive. For no reason, I'll add in. There's literally no reason to use the Vanishing Drive. He did it just to do it, which makes no sense. Okay, what? It doesn't make sense to use the Vanishing Drive. Just like he could have just passed. Like that's all he had to do. He get the ball and then pass. That's it. You know, the only reason you would use the Vanishing Drive is if you can't if you're in a situation where you can't pass. Either that or you see someone who you can't pass the ball to the way you are right now, but if you get past that guy, then you can get the ball to them. All right, but that one of those two situations was not shown in that at this point in the episode. Plus, it's the beginning of the game, so there was no point in using the Vanishing Drive. He did it just to do it, which is stupid. Because the more he does it, the more people will get used to it, because that's how misdirection works. So, there was no reason for him to use the Vanishing Drive there. But, like I said, this episode was mainly just showing the different ways Kurosaki Daichi can cheat without getting caught. They're doing these rough screens, which are fouls. The one guy, the Bubblegum Boy. I don't know his name. I'll just call him Bubblegum Boy. BGB. Yeah, actually, I'll call him BGB. But he steps when the ball. They're going up for the rebound, but he steps on Kagami's feet, so he can't jump up and get the ball. So then he can easily just jump up and get the rebound because Kagami's his timing is all off. And when he comes down, he also tries to foul Kagami. He comes and when he lands, he tries to elbow him in the face and stuff. And they keep doing all this crap. The same things over and over again. Tough screens, fouling people left and right. At one point, we see Hyuga's got bruises on his arms and everything because they've just been beating them up pretty much. But the way they do things is that they'll have one guy run in front of the referee. That way the referee can't see whatever it is that they're doing. So when they foul people, it's always in the ref's blind spot. And everyone sees it except for the ref, you know, so they always get away with it, which I don't know how, because you saw my reaction in the beginning. It turns out that every team that's faced Kurosaki Daichi ends up having people injured, and it's not just it's their aces too. Their aces, their star players are getting injured as well, you know, and I don't see how people could think this is just a coincidence. Like, oh, every team that faces these guys has people get injured. We totally shouldn't keep a close eye on these guys or anything, you know. It doesn't make sense. I don't know how the refs can't find that out. You know, you'd think that, or maybe the committee or whoever it is that's responsible for the Winter Cup, like, you know, whoever's responsible for it, they should be able to pick up on this and, you know, realize, oh, there's something wrong here. Something's going on. but no one does, so they keep doing it, and this pisses people off, especially Kagami. He was about to punch BGB, and Kuroko had to literally pull his legs out from under him and send him like falling face first into the floor, you know? And it's just frustrating, you know? You're watching this, and it's Kaijo, Toho, they're all just, like, they're watching this and they're just getting frustrated at, you know, it's frustrating. I don't even know what else to say. It's frustrating. It's frustrating watching it. So it must be incredibly frustrating and infuriating just actually playing in the game. But Teppei, he's still, I respect Teppei a lot. I do. Because he just decides, you know, all of you guys are going to play on the outside. I'm going to be the only person to play on the inside. Okay, they're gonna focus all of their attacks on me, and I don't mind because I'm already injured. Okay, I'd rather me get injured more than have you fresh guys, you guys who are perfectly fine, end up in my position. I don't want that to happen. You know, so he decides to handle the inside, both offense and defense, on his own, and he actually does a pretty good job of it too. But you know, he pays for it. He gets bruises all over his arms, his legs, everywhere. You know, and Hugo, he sees this and he's thinking, you know, he's kind of tsundere about it, but he is friends with Teppei. He does consider Teppei a friend, you know, and he doesn't like seeing Teppei get treated like that by Kurosaki Daichi, so he wants to try and take the pressure off of him by shooting threes pretty much. You know, if they're making so many points on the outside, then Kurosaki Daichi won't be able to ignore that. They'll have to put some pressure off of the inside to make sure that Saren doesn't score points on the outside. But Hyuga, he's so worked up that he's missing all the shots. He was doing it during the warm-ups too. He just keeps missing all of his shots. So they can just ignore him and continue to focus on Teppei. And Hanamiya, he tries to bait Teppei into getting angry, and he just tries to screw with him a little bit, but Teppei just ignores him, and because of that, he just decides, you know what? I think it's time we took him out again. Right, so he has that guy with those dead fish eyes, like I think that's how Hugo put it. He has that guy fall right on top of Teppei's. He falls right after he gets a rebound. He falls right on top of Teppei, and he just elbows him in the face, just like a Macho Man Randy Savage or CM Punk or Shawn Michaels type of elbow drop right on top of his face. It was ridiculous. And Teppei has this little mini speech where he gets, I've never seen this happen in a basketball game before when someone starts giving off a speech, but whatever. it doesn't really matter. I just found it funny. But he gets up and starts giving this mini speech, and he's talking about how his job, the reason he came back is to protect Saren from stuff like this, so that they can, so while he's there and in the future when he's not there, they can win and live up to their full potential. He wants to protect them, and he gets up and he puts his arms out like this, and this like protective type of motion, and his forehead is bleeding and everything. And he just says he's going to protect Saren, and so that was a pretty cool moment. But in the first half of the episode it was mediocre. You know, nothing really happened. You know, the match didn't start until like 9 minutes into the episode. You know, so like I don't know where those other 9 minutes went. You know, I like I said, I remember Kaijo showing up, Toho showing up, and Hanamiya had that conversation with Teppei, Hugo, Kuroko, and Kagami, but 9 minutes. You know, the first half of the episode was just okay. I don't think anyone can really argue with that. In the second half of the episode, I thought that was cool, mainly because of the end. The game itself was just okay as well. I mean, it was pretty much it wasn't even really a game. It was just showing the different ways Kurosaki Daichi can foul. So I mean, that was okay too. But the best part of the episode was definitely Teppei and seeing how he stepped up to try and protect Saren. So I guess the second half of the episode was cool, but combining two halves of the episode, I'm just going to give this episode a 6.5 out of 10. It was kind of cool, but not quite there. Teppei was the best part of the episode. I thought that I would do this a similar thing to what I do with Infinite Stratos, where Whenever Monica or Amora shows up, she's pretty much always my thumbnail. I thought I'd be doing something like that with Kuroko, where whenever Hanamiya shows up, he'd be my thumbnail. But this week it's Teppei because he was the best part of the episode. But yeah, that's it. This episode gets a 6.5 out of 10. Um, yeah, I'm sorry I got this review out so late, but I was home for Thanksgiving and I came back today, so that was like a 6 hour ride. Plus, as soon as I got back at like 4 or 5, yeah, around 4, I had to finish working on a project. Plus, I had to actually go and eat something, So it's stuff, and just real life stuff, right? But yeah, that's my apology for the review getting out late, but that's it. Like I said before, this is like the third time I've said it, but this episode gets a 6.5 out of 10. Alright, that's it though. Yeah, guys. Rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.